Bart, and we are both from Above&Beyond Poland.
Right, first of all, welcome to Poland. It's been actually quite a few, like 1.5 years since you visited Poland. How do you guys feel being back here?
It's great to be back. We used to come a little bit more often, I think, than we've been doing recently, and so it's nice to be here with another show in October to look forward to, and get to play in Poland, you know, a couple of times in a year. It's really nice, so it's great to be back.
Good.
It's really good. Do you remember your first show as Above&Beyond? Where was it? Can you tell us something more about it?
Our first show.
Yeah, your first show.
I think we had just released this Japanese pop star called Ayumi Hamasaki, and at this point we were DJing, and our sort of primary thing was just to make great music. And they phoned us up and they said, okay, we have an exhibition hall here in Tokyo. We're expecting 8,000 people. We have very close in DJ Tiesto. We would really love if you could come and play with everyone. We'll get you flights, hotels, we really look after you. Do you DJ?
At that time I didn't DJ. I'd made a lot of effort actually to avoid DJing. When I started clubbing, all my friends started DJing and I just wasn't interested in doing it.
Yeah.
But I said, yeah, I DJ. So I went out and bought some decks and some records, and I wasn't very good.
I thought you did great.
You're very kind.
We were playing vinyl at this point.
Yeah.
It was a little bit more difficult. So.
But it was good. It was great. It was good fun.
Yeah. Right. So basically, you guys pretty much travel the whole world right now while touring. And is there any particular place that you actually like to come back to?
For me, apart from Poland, you mean?
Well, yeah.
I love Buenos Aires. It's my kind of go-to place. If I could, you know, we travel the world. A lot of times I think I'd love to be in Buenos Aires now. It's just, it's a combination of the people, the city, the crumbling architecture, the grandeur of it all, the rich heritage in literature and poetry and everything makes it feel it's like a European capital city in a parallel universe. Because it's not in Europe at all, and obviously a lot of Europeans went over to South America and it's given it that flavour, but it still feels, when you're in Buenos Aires, same as when you're in New Zealand, you do feel like you're a long way from anywhere else, and that has its own sort of calming effect, especially when we're travelling so much and we're seeing so many people all the time. It's just nice. I had 10 days there last spring. Just hired a little apartment and did some writing, and it was great.
Just went there for holiday?
Yeah, kind of working.
Working holiday. So we can literally in the future expect another ABGT ride in South America sometime, probably.
We would really like to do one in South America, but logistically it's just not working out.
Yeah. Right. So when you did travel around the world, did you guys have a situation that, or memory from those tours that you actually like to recall or back with each other when you're on tours, or like similar to like, oh yeah, remember that time that happened? Any particular memory, funny or something? Something
no,
special?
I mean, we've done, like you say, we've been touring for say 15 years, and we've been, you know, everywhere from La Paz in Bolivia, where one of our friends got altitude sickness. We've been to swimming in Sydney Bay when we went sailing, and then got told there's lots of sharks there afterwards, and you know, there's just so many things. It's always difficult to come up with the craziest thing that's happened, but I think traveling has given us a real understanding that the world is full of people who may look different, who may believe in different things, eat different food, but ultimately we're all much more similar than people think. People are all after similar things in their lives, and I think I certainly didn't think the world was like that before I travelled it. But
did it change you as a person after you travelled the whole sort of world?
Yeah. The world felt like a scary place.
Yeah.
Now it feels like a nice place.
It's not scary at all. How do you guys decide which of the three of you is going on tour, and who stays to record the weekly group therapy in London?
We try and rotate. So since we've done this Polish date, Jono will be doing the one in October, I would imagine, if things work out. So we just, it's a little bit random, but we try and make sure that if we do a gig somewhere, the next time it's a different team that go back. And whoever's presenting the show picks record of the week.
Alright, so during your sets, you pick random people from the stage to join you, from the crowd to join you on the stage. How did the idea of Push the Button came about? How did you come up with it?
This was an accidental thing. I think you
we
did it by almost accident.
No, it's completely accidental. We were playing Sun and Moon a lot at this period, and there's a point where it all breaks down and the riff comes back in. And I thought it would be a good idea for us to delay the riff coming in. So we put a cue point on the riff so we could stop the track and then make it come in when we wanted it to come in to make the crowd go crazy. And I think the very first time that we played that version of the track out, there was a guy wandering around on stage with a video camera videoing the whole thing, and I thought it would be neat to get him to press play again. So the riff broke down and people were cheering, and so there's a guy with a video camera and he videoed himself hitting the button. And the very next gig we did, there were people with signs, because he posted the video on YouTube, there were people with signs saying, "Let me push the button." So we thought, well, that's a good idea, we'll get them up. So it just kind of invented itself.
Yeah, it's a random thing that came about.
Yeah.
But it's become a really cool thing because we do so many gigs.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've been on stage and sort of thinking, okay, this is all blurring into one. We've done so much stuff. But when you get people there and you just see it from their point of view, it really brings it home how fortunate we are to be in this situation.
It's a dream come true from pretty much every level in Beyond fan, really.
Okay, now let's talk maybe a little bit about your new album, because you are telling sorry, that your cover album is quite important to you. And is there a particular track which is very close to you? And if so, which one?
Well, I think this keeps changing every day, and it's almost like picking a favorite child, so you almost can't really do it. For me, when we were writing the album, the outro track "Common Ground" was one that I felt really attached to, because it was written in a poolside in India on tour, whilst pondering life. But then now that the album's come out, like Northern Soul has become one of my real favourites. Just now that we've been playing it out, I love just seeing the reactions to it.
Yeah.
Have the same.
Yeah, we have the same. Right, so we all know that you're both, well, all three of you are both brilliant DJs and producers, and you've actually turned your pop hits into acoustic versions. How did the idea of acoustic came about? Like, how did you figure it out? Like, what was the idea behind it?
We had played live electronically in Beirut, and we planned to do a lot of it. We did it once and didn't really enjoy it. I think the thing with electronic music is if you put some humanity into it, it's never as good as a machine playing it. Electronic music needs to be absolutely accurate and loud. So the minute you put some human playing in there, the bit that the human's playing generally doesn't sound as good as the original. So it's a very hard thing to do, and that's why most electronic shows, people don't really do anything significant. They're just kind of miming a little bit. But I really wanted to play live, and when I was growing up, the things that famous bands did, they did Top of the Pops and they did MTV Unplugged, and neither of them were in existence anymore, and it's pointless us putting together a Top of the Pops show. So I thought it would be neat if we did MTV Unplugged on our own. So the plan was to do some shows in London and film it, and for that to be it. And we did, and it took a long time to put together. But we all enjoyed doing it so much. After that, I think the second show, I was standing outside having a cigarette, and our manager James said, we can't stop this now, we'll have to do more of this. So we did a couple of shows in LA after that, and then we did the proper tour last year, and I think we all enjoy it. But
it was one of those ones where it's classic how our management works. Okay, so we've done this thing, we were like, we want to do some more, and the next thing is like, okay, we booked Royal Albert Hall, we booked the Hollywood Bowl, we got the Sydney Opera House, and okay, so these are all locked down, so we need an album and we need a show, and we have 6 months or whatever, and it was that kind of pressure was intense, but then coming out of it at the other end was this just incredible feeling of accomplishment. I think it was a really difficult thing for all of us, but I think we all really got so much out of it.
Yeah, obviously they were a huge success, so I bet you guys are planning more on those in the future.
We were just talking about
We're just like, should we do it? Should we not do it? What do you think? Let us know.
Future will tell.
You also produced under alias Ocean Lab. What was the idea behind it?
Well, Ocean Lab was really sort of invented because we needed a different artist name to sign to a different record label back in 2003, 2002. Was it that? Oh, yeah, because back in the day, we were releasing music under different aliases for different record labels so that we could do lots of record deals with different people. That's no longer the case. So we are still working with Justine. We love her songwriting and her voice, and feels like it really suits our kind of arrangements and productions. So, like on this album, we're now working with Justine as Above and Beyond, just in Swiss, rather than using the Ocean Lab name, because we kind of don't need to anymore.
Well, hopefully you guys come back to it at some point and surprise your fans. Well, so Paavo, right back in 2000, you and Jono created your degree project under the name of Anjunabeats. Could you tell us a little bit more about it? How did you come up with that name?
Well, the name was actually originally invented by me and a couple of my friends in Helsinki, Finland, in the late 90s. We were planning to do a record label, and Anjunabeats was a legendary place that none of us had visited.
Right.
But there were all these amazing stories about people traveling from Berlin and London and Detroit and Chicago and going to this beach in Goa, having these full moon parties, and how those people met each other there and how they brought their own different electronic styles, and it became this kind of melting pot of different people and sounds. It just felt like a fantastic name for a label. We never really did anything with it. So when I met Jono and we were thinking about a name for a label, I sort of pulled it out of the hat. Oh yeah, we had this thing that we were once thinking of doing, what do you think? And I explained the story. And Jono was like, this sounds perfect, let's do it. And phoned the guys up, is it okay if we use his name? And they're like, yeah, go ahead.
So you used it for the label and the track and the artist?
Yeah. Tried to make it clear, but I made it more confusing.
How would you describe your music for someone who never heard about you?
It depends what kind of music they listen to, whether they know club music at all. But if it's an old person, I'd say we do sad songs to a disco beat. But a young person, I think we make emotional dance music. That's sort of what I think we do.
Right, do you guys have a life motto that you go about day by day, or maybe you have one for your group?
Not a life motto per se, but I think one thing that we've always done, and people often ask us, where are we going to be in the future? What are our plans for the future? And I think us as a band, we've always really tried to concentrate on doing what really inspires us the very moment, rather than making a plan and then realizing that we didn't get there or we ended up somewhere else. So we've been pretty good at being present and looking at just today. What will we do today? And I think that's a kind of above and beyond the motto.
So guys, like, what message would you like to give to all the Polish Anjuna family out there? Would you like to say anything to them?
We'd like to say thanks for being so loyal to us over the years. We know we haven't been here as much as we'd like to be. I think it used to be easier to come here maybe 10 years ago than it's been in the last 5 years, but we're here today and we're going to be back on October the 28th in Warsaw, I do believe.
Yeah, in progressive.
So if you're not here today, hope to see you then.
Yeah. Right, thank you very much for your time, guys. It's been a pleasure. But before we end, we also got something for you. So it's a few gifts from.
It's a camera.
It's a few gifts from our Anjunafamily Poland. First one is a photo, hand-drawn portrait of Boszkowie made by Izabela Barakin from Eris Trensard for you to possibly hang in the Anjuna kitchen.
We'll put that in. We'll put that in the studio. That's great.
That's great.
That's really good.
There's also a second gift, which is a cover of We Are All Many, made in Polish Anjunafamily fans for you to remember this even today, guys. And last but not least, I actually got it on my back right here.
Cool.
And last but not least is Anjunafamily Poland flag for you.
Fantastic.
So, you're welcome.
There you go.
Let's go. Thank you again very much, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Dziękuję.